Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime in the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and tangents sometimes. And today, we got a guest. I'm joined by RippingLotus,
Hello.
GamingEmblem,
What's up, guys?
and Gustav the 13th.
Yep.
So, Lotus, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, people know what you do, got going on and stuff.
Hello, everybody. RippingLotus. I am mostly a YouTuber. I'm dabbling in Twitch here and there. Certified gamer. Play on the Xbox, PS4. I cover Gundam Battle Operation 2 content, Shinobi Strikers, and I'm diving into Rogue Company currently. Gonna start doing Black Clover reviews here and there since that is currently my favorite anime. Personal life, things going on in the real world, managing full-time job, being a gamer, pursuing goals and full-time in a relationship and everything. So all in all, things are going pretty good.
All right, and it was nice having you today, man. I'm sorry to hear that your favorite anime is Black Clover and not Gundam on our Gundam podcast. See you next time, bud. We're all Gundam elitists here, mind dude. I know the names of all the mobile suits. I just get them wrong to trigger chat on purpose all the time.
Oh, you mean like Wing Gundam?
Yeah, that's the one in Iron-Blooded Orphans, right?
There it is. Oh no.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say, how is Rogue Company, but then... Oh yeah, how are you enjoying Rogue Company though?
I'm liking it so far. It's definitely different. Some people like to compare it to the person perspective. Definitely
compared to what? I lost you.
Valorant.
Valorant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people like to compare it to that in terms of characters having abilities and such, but I think the third person aspect kind of pulls me into it a lot better.
Yeah, the third person thing is kind of why I wanted to try it out, just to see how it plays.
It's definitely nice though.
Kind of like the difference between doing like a PUBG first person, third person kind of thing, or even in Fortnite.
Yeah, most.
But yeah, by the way, just also on the Black Clover thing, as far as the filler episodes we got going on right now with that, just saying.
Hurt my feelings, Magnum. You hurt my feelings.
What do you mean? We're like,
This is the pain and solidarity.
But yeah. Anyway, Gustav, what have you had going on this past week?
I'll say honestly, in terms of like anime, most of my consumption comes through random clips on Facebook. So like, seeing it start to go in a circle, I kind of figured we were probably in a filler arc at this point.
I mean, this season's pretty rough as far as new stuff goes. So I hear you.
We ended up wrapping up Kiwami earlier in the week, and now we're moving on to SD Gundam G Generations Cross Rays.
There you go.
So that's been pretty fun. Going through Wing right now, probably going to be going from left to right in terms of the scenario progression. And yesterday, we were trying to do one before the banner drop, and it took like 3 hours, like a single scenario by itself. So like, oh boy. I was like, this one shouldn't be that bad. The other ones didn't take that long.
Last words.
Totally ran over an extra hour. Like, fuck, dude.
So for guys like us that read the text, you can't make that mistake again.
Yep, cannot.
Do you watch? How much do you go to the animations? Do you watch animations too?
Sometimes, because after a while, and like especially if like there are newer people in the chat, it was like just seeing them smack each other back and forth is kind of boring. So like, you gotta at least show it off every once in a while, or like when you do group attacks too, it's nice. Or at least when you get a new suit, you gotta see the animations at least once, stuff like that.
Yeah,
see, I'm playing this to play it just as much as to show it off. So we're getting a little indulgent in there. That Kibule just disappeared.
Did it get like Yeetus the Elitist disappeared, or
no, he like
returned to famous people?
He just like nothing personnel, then like shifted out of space and time.
No, he had to return to his home planet.
Yeah, just
gotcha.
Like he put out the deuces and then just fucking peaced out.
My people need me. Gone.
Oh my god.
Here's a
Okay, but
random
yeah,
question.
those are the two main things that I've been doing. Still living that quarantine life. So
Well, real quick before we move on, I anybody random tangent here. Anybody have the cubules just like target you from around a wall?
Their tracking is really good. That's actually
Like,
something I was
as far
gonna
as like
point out about it.
yeah, like the rear circle is really huge, so they can catch you on the lip.
Yeah,
It's very generous too.
Well, and the other thing too, like with the Hamma Hamma, before we get to it, I just decided to test it out. Like on impact side, I'm clearly behind the rock, and there's the base, and so like I'm behind the rocks, I can see the base. So I'm just like barely, the circle's there, so I can go ahead and target somebody. And I actually locked on to him with that, and I was like, ooh, that's a little.
I mean, honestly, I think as long as the health bar is there, a Psychemy suit should be able to lock onto a suit it can't see. As long as you're hovering over the health bar, personally. Maybe that could be broken though.
I was gonna say there's a lot of wall peeking going on right now.
I mean,
from a mechanic standpoint,
though, like in terms of like pushing and stuff, pushing now, like I said it before, but it's just people wiggling very threateningly at people, and like people shooting up because they're trying to make sure that they can lock on.
Well, I mean, right now with the cubule thing, it's like here's a wall, here's the cubule behind the wall, and like there's the little fin sticking out, and they can target you. Like like you don't even get much of a target. You can't even hit them. And if you have a suit that if you try to peek out, they can just lock onto you and hit you with that. And then otherwise, you're just like, come on, stick a little more of your shoulder out so I can actually shoot you. What's going on?
Just shoot that pixel.
A little bit of that shoulder, honey. Just get out of it.
Come on, Hamon, show me some shoulder.
Gotta get her
I like where this is conversation.
You gotta get her in that double Zeta dress then.
Hey, that's what we got. That's what we got on MBON already. We there.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta everyone's like scrambled to unlock that. Gotta get that intimacy up, dude.
Heck yeah. I'm on to my nav.
Okay, but anyway, Emblem, what have you had going on this past week?
I'm back at work. So I'm back on responsible adult streaming hours and stuff like that. Yeah, it feels bad, man. But yeah, just more the same. Battle cooperation. Fantasy Star Online 2. The Persona crossover collab banners all kind of got shoved into. I think they were like missing a little, like 1 or 2 banners, but it took like the 3, 4, and 5 banners and just crammed them all together and added a couple other things and just released them out. So there's literally like a Persona flavored overhaul on the ship right now, where it's like going to an anime convention. Like every third person you see is a Joker, and Futabas and stuff like that. Sorry, anime conventions are these things that we used to do before the apocalypse, where you would get a whole bunch of overly like sexualized nerds and sometimes virgins together, and they would dress like characters from video games and anime. Sometimes they would be males dressed as girls, and there's nothing wrong with that. 2020, by the way. And sometimes they would just be, the thick girls in the bikinis or whatever, and they'd be all together doing that stuff. And it's kind of like that. I mean, it's always like that, but it's like real life now. Like if you went into it'd be like if you went into Build Fighters Try or whatever it's called, and they had it true to life, and there'd be more Char clones in every scene, kind of thing. Still can't buy into that series.
For real though, I want to see like a full on just as many people as they could get, like Gundam convention, and just have a bunch of Gundam fans go in and just see how many Char clones there are.
That would be pretty great. It's pretty cool too. You get to see Char type people, even at other conventions. The last one I went to had a Quattro. There wasn't a Char, but there was a Quattro Bagina, an Amuro. There was a Camille. They also had kind of Gato, but not really Gato, and stuff like that. So Gundam's out there, and there's always like the one guy with the box that says Gundam on it, and I mean like the cardboard box.
Yes.
Points for creativity.
We actually had someone in a full-on Zaku 2 and Char colors. I think
that's actually cool.
Too, so that was pretty nice.
I feel like you only ever see that one girl that has a like fully movable Strike Freedom costume. Whenever you see like cool Gundam cosplays, so it's good to see like some Xeon representation as well.
It'd be amazing to see some of Uber's cosplay stuff in person one day.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, that's about it though. I'm looking forward to the Crystal Chronicles remake coming out in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, let me know when that happens.
And I think it's the 27th. Last I remember looking at the date, so it's a few weeks. That and that Shin Megami Tensei, they're not Strange Journey, Nocturne, I think it is. They got the remake coming out, and they have the cooler Raido Kuzahona rather than Dante in the game, so you get to that one's gonna be coming out. I never got to play it, so I want to check it out.
Yeah, depending on the for the Crystal Chronicles thing, depending on the price, I have to figure that out. But anyway,
good week so far.
Yeah,
I get paid tomorrow.
Oh, hey, there you go. There it is.
It's good to be back on getting a paycheck. Feels good, man.
Well, then you're hosting the Crystal Chronicles game, huh?
Man, I thought we talked about this already. Be cool, man.
Things have changed. The situation's changed.
Yes,
no,
but or has changed.
But yeah. So as far as my week though, it's been Gundam things
and
281 tokens down on the Cubile.
It just wasn't meant to be.
And then the 120 on the 4-step. Literally one. The second one was literally nothing but 10 weapons. The third one, no 3-star, and the 4th step, no 3-star at all.
They really just wanted you to thirst after those new suits. It was so blatant.
Like, oh my gosh. And then a friend of mine's like, oh, look at this, here's all this other stuff. And then and I'm just like, man, come on.
Magnum, don't grow a third eye and start yelling despair, okay?
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
We're getting there. No, but the main thing though too, it really was the community coming together and helping out with a lot of the token love there on that one. So that was pretty awesome. So yeah, 300 and some tokens for a Hamma Hamma. Okay, I guess there was.
Oh my!
I guess there was. Yeah, right. I guess there was the. I got a few good, decent things like the full armor ground, the Hamrabi, I'd have to look, but yeah, there was a few decent things.
More importantly, not the Cubile.
For real. That's the main thing. There was, but like I said, there was some good like around 450 to 500 suits. Oh yeah, the GBO4. I'm actually looking at it now. Stamen, level 2. GBO4 level 2 is what that was. Barzam. I finally got a Barzam. That was cool. So I get to experience that. I'm loving that suit too. Like I said, full armor ground. A level 3 G-line assault. And yeah, I mean that's about for the high stuff. That's about it for now. Striker custom, but yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just had the PSO2 concert on and totally just mooned the camera like, oh my, Lord, you got a skirt on too.
I mean, he said you came to see a show. He didn't want to disappoint.
Yeah, because he's just wearing full-bodied leg tights underneath that. I just like looking over. It's just like, whoops! I dropped my quarter. Like, oh god, sorry. Anyway, keep going.
Somebody get Emblem up.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Nah, if Makoto was on stage, Anne's okay.
But yeah, so yeah, that was pretty much for the most part. So yeah, some good stuff. And then finished Ghost of Tsushima, which, man, that game was good. Can highly recommend. If you like open world games at all, or you like classic samurai stories and stuff, like again, they even have a Kurosawa mode. So if you like any of the Kurosawa films, you pretty much know what kind of story you're getting into. It kind of reminded me too of like I remember watching 47 Ronin and some stuff like that. Not the new one, but the old ones. But the yeah, like it's really good. The story was great. The audio, they actually have audio modes for a PS4 game, which I'm guessing they kind of maybe did that because of the PS5 coming out soonish. So you have the full 3D audio thing, which you could tell really wasn't designed for the day one PS4 that I have, because the audio would just get really choppy if there was like too many explosions or, arrows or whatever going on. So that was a problem, but so that would happen every now and then. Or if I just, like the big fights where you're cutting down like 5 people or something at a time, and then there's just like everybody else fighting too. So that would get a little weird, but the audio was great. It's just a beautiful game to look at, and the open world stuff was great. I would compare it open world wise to like Horizon Zero Dawn, maybe with kind of how the mechanics work a little bit, maybe like a Metal Gear Solid 5 kind of thing. It's kind of what it, obviously without the guns. You can do some crazy shenanigans with the stealth stuff though. That's kind of why I compare it to Metal Gear Solid 5, because I remember just like, throwing the decoy thing around one dude and just laughing at him where he would like rotate in circles and get confused. So you can play around with the mechanics, and it's pretty hilarious. But yeah, love that game. Can highly recommend. Just a great game overall, and fantastic ending. But yeah, that's pretty much been it. Finished the Magic Find character as far as getting it to like level 80 something, and so now that's ready to go. So we're pretty much, our test run of that is good. Now we just need to actually do it live next month when Path of Exile's new league starts. So yeah. But yeah, it's pretty much been my week. I'm looking forward to the Avengers thing though. That's tomorrow, by the way. I don't know if anybody knows if you got the Avengers game on Xbox and PC. I know PC for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's both. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. They didn't really give a time zone, so apparently in your time zone is what it says. But I mean, I've seen that before with games, and it literally be counted on like specific, even though it says in your time zone, and it's like East Coast problems. Okay. So.
Okay.
But yeah, check that out. If it's pretty good. I'm curious to see how it goes, but yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Hamma Hamma discussion. I'll go ahead and pull up some gameplay of it. If we want to, we can do a custom, but I don't like the idea where the raids slaughter the Hamma Hamma. Just saying.
I'm not a fan of that part either.
I've got the game open. I mean, I'm down to do the scrimmage match.
Got a couple minutes on a match, and then I'll be in there.
Perfect time to go over the stats and stuff on the suit.
Yeah, exactly. If I could pull it up here. Acting a little awkward. There we go. Nailed it. We got it. That was close. But yeah. So I'll go ahead and go to no parts. And we have 20,500 health on it. Do you have are you pulling up the JP wiki with the like stats on the?
Yeah, I'm already there.
Okay. 15 ballistic, 26 beam resist, and 31 melee resist. It's got a range modifier of 40 and a melee modifier of 24. Movement speed is...
That's level 2.
Oh yeah, this is level 2, right? You want to go over the level 1?
Yeah, I can say real quick. Level 1 is 600, 19,000 HP. Has 13 physical rounds or bullet defense beam resistance is 24. Melee resistance is 29. Shooting mod is 37, and the melee mod is 22.
Okay. Then movement
Everything
speed,
else remains the same.
125, 195 for the top speed, which is kind of cool. Other than the Super Gundam, it's the second fastest support we've got. Pretty nice. Only 40 thruster gauge, and I have a problem with that now when we get to the skills. Yeah.
Ejection, woo!
Yeah. And turning speed, 63. That's not too bad. That's pretty good. With its main weapon, it's got 715 damage, heat rate of 20. So if you fire it too fast, you will overheat the main weapon. But it shoots in a 3-round burst, so that's a pretty solid amount of damage. 450 range, which is pretty far for that. Like I didn't actually look at what the range on it was, and I was like, whoa, I can hit from a mile away. And it's got a 1.3 cooldown time. Now the main thing with this suit that I've found is you can't really overheat it. So most of these percentages, you pretty much don't want to get into that overheat time. On the Beam Saber, it's actually got a lot of damage, 2,500. That's pretty solid. And then if you want to go over the level 1 of each of the weapons, I'll just show the level 2 for the sub weapons.
Here we go. All right. So for the main one, it's sort of triple cannon at level 1 is 175 power. Level 2 is 750, and that's times 3, so that's not bad there.
Just do
he
the
rates only
sub weapons. I already did the main weapons.
Oh, okay.
Because I only
okay,
have level 1 of those.
Missed it. Oh, okay. All right. In that case, the other 3 beam weapon is the Mega Particle Cannon, which is 1100 at level 1 and 1155 at level 2. And that one's 95% heat rate, but you have to charge it to fire.
Yep. 3.5 seconds though. That's not bad. That's what you'd expect at that range for a charge.
Yeah, and the damage is really nice too. Like I saw Hikaru playing it some last night, and just confirming the shots on like generals, it's almost on par with as it would be like hitting somebody with like a photon maser or new Blue Gundam's cannon.
Those are
stuff like that.
Those are 3 individual beams too. So if you hit with just one, we'll do a third of the damage. And then we go over the mines. That's a weird power number on the mines. Level 1. Please tell me it's something just randomly arbitrary.
Small mine, 550.
Okay, well, the level 2 is 577.
Yeah. They increase it by 2. Is that even 2%? I can't remember. They put the numbers out for the increase between each level, but yeah, 577 is pretty weird. It's 4 mines. Honestly, I think they look kind of weird. Like, I could buy into hide bombs for whatever reason. Maybe the Gian just needs all the help it can get, so it's whatever. But the Hamma Hamma is literally just like, and there's just a bunch of pellets floating, floating for no reason.
Yeah, they did throw me off the first time I seen it. And it's like, oh, okay, so they're just gonna float there. All right, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they actually go really far though. Like I was surprised, like how far they just kind of slowly drift. So I've actually been catching a lot of people off guard with that. So I don't know how much longer that'll work, or if people get used to it.
They were exploding pretty quick to me, but maybe they were hitting the ground because I felt like when I saw Hikaru releasing them, they would explode pretty quickly after he put them out. But
a good reference distance is you can stand on top of the rock in front of the base on desert and hit the base.
That is very far.
Yeah.
So they must have been hitting the ground then.
Yeah, so you can just stand up there and just eat stuff at the base and destroy an enemy base while standing up there. So it's...
Yeah. because I'll tell you right now, in my mind, those mines were like you're standing on that rock and they get to like the bottom of it.
Yeah, they'll clip stuff pretty quick. Sometimes, I mean, they'll spread. Like by the time they get to the base, you've almost missed the base because of how much they sometimes will spread out. Like they'll sometimes go crazy on you. I haven't figured out what causes that. I feel like they've got like space physics on the ground. So you know how that random debris on a space map just kind of like tinks, bounces off your suit? I feel like it does that kind of stuff. So like if one of them, like if two mines bounce each other, they're just like yeet, just go straight up and straight down. But
that's pretty much how they're released, because they come out clustered and then they just spread out gradually. So it's like they bounce off each other when they're released.
Yeah. So that there could be some weird physics going on with some of those. So yeah, with the wired beam guns, which it's funny that they're compared to the Zeong's wired weapons, like in the description. Like I was just like, I'm pressing doubt on this one. But yeah, what's the level 1 stats on the wired beam guns? And also, what's their stagger rate? I'm really curious on that.
Just a note, the Google Translate on the JP Wiki calls it the wired beam cannon ×2 sandwich. But the level 1 is 300, and the level 2 is 315.
What's the stagger rate?
Is that a 3% increase? Sorry, I was trying to do the math. That's the stagger rate is.
That'd be 5, by the way.
5%, thank you. Okay, so the other one might be 5% too. Anyway, this is, I think it has a stagger effect, right? Because this is saying the stagger rate's 3%, which makes sense because it's supposed to be instant stagger, right?
Yeah, it's an instant stagger. Okay, so it is an instant stagger. So if it's only 3%, then I was wondering.
I mean, that's about in par.
I was wondering if
don't use it on maneuver armor.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was wondering if it would break maneuver armor if you hit both, because you can only hit one and it will stagger as well. So, like, you don't have to hit both of them. So I've had one hit a building or one hit a rock and the other one hit, and I've had to stagger too. So that's why I was really curious on that.
Does it say the stagger rate for the mines?
Yeah, 25% times 4 actually. So you could break maneuver armor with the mines.
I broke maneuver armor with only like 2.
I don't know then.
So
was that a fresh maneuver armor? Like he wasn't being shot by teammates?
I mean,
or
that could be the problem. Like because I already yeeted him and I was shooting him with the actual main beam, the main weapon beam. So.
We could try it.
Yeah, we can definitely test some of it out.
I'm out if you guys want to set it up.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, Gustav, you want to set it up?
I don't have you guys added on this unless you want me to just do stuff.
I'm talking to Carrie right now.
Okay, emblem is on it. I've got the skills up, so I'll go over the skills.
Okay.
I guess the Arctic base. Why not?
Okay.
High performance radar level 2 observational data link. High performance aerospace gimbal, which is pretty nice.
I put my screen name in the Discord. Guess you need to look.
I'm just gonna put a password in. I'll just kick anybody from the stream that thinks they're cute.
Melee combat melee combo controller level 1. So it's got 2 swings. We got another support that has 2 swings and level 1 melee priority.
What? Yeah, they still don't want to cross that line, and it kind of sucks.
Space, it's got space specialization though, which is cool. High spec AMBAC, force injector level 2, and even with level 2 at 40 thrust, you can only boost 2 times. Feels bad. But it does have balancer, so you can get in there and wing that melee. So it's got pretty much force injector and balancer to enhance its melee. So I guess now we can start actually talking about what we think of the suit's proper performance.
You forgot to mention, Magnum, how the bio of the suit also mentions its thrusters and its high mobility.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, it's like this was with its design, with all these extra thrusters, its mobility is like unlike anything else. No, crap. Like,
isn't 40 the lowest in the game?
Straight up doo-doo.
Maybe the mass-produced gun tank has it tied or beat, but 40 is pretty damn low. Like even the Pixie can feel proud.
I think
that one.
I think it might be the Gigan. The Gigan might win this one for the lowest.
That could be a thing too.
Because I know the Gigan's just like, or it's one of the gun tanks for sure. They boost like not at all. Maybe it's the Hildoffer.
Yeah, when you try to boost, it's just like,
Gigan is at 45.
What?
Oh wow! Mass-produced gun tank is at 45 at level 1 as well.
Oh my gosh! The only thing that saves is that it has force injector level 2. What in the world? What?
Okay, level 1 mass-produced gun tank is at 30.
I was on the wrong one. I thought it was like mass-produced. Oh, I was on the gun cannon. Oops. Okay, yeah.
It has the same thruster gauge as the Zaku cannon rabbit type. Sitting at 40.
Oh, yep. The mass production gun tank is 30. Yeah, damn. I think that's the lowest. I want to see the Hildoffer real quick. What do we got with the assault gun tank and the Hildoffer? Okay, they actually have some stuff going for it. I guess because I mean, that's what's weird though. They have like their thruster consumption on the like the Hildoffer and assault gun tank is just about as bad as the gun tanks, but they have 60 thruster. That's weird. They must have a extra modifier that we can't see, of course.
Oh my
god.
No.
Oh no, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What are you guys scheming over there?
About.
I
schemes
see
here, no sir.
I see you. I see
you. No scheming's here, Mr. Magnum, man.
Shit.
Filthy raid players.
Yeah, I am a raid player by circumstance because these coward ass motherfuckers don't want to put it on the team cup.
I know. Oof. I can neither confirm nor deny being a filthy raid player.
Just gonna break out some tea with my support. Hubris. Let's go.
Sit on my building and murder everything.
Intensify the bully.
Yeah. Support players play like RTSs. Everyone else is playing a real game.
Hey, again, I lead by example. I'm in there with this.
I won't disagree.
I was gonna say that. Like the typical like meta for like competitive RTS would be rushing in anyway, so it's totally what we're doing.
I got a little bit of sound on. I got it at literally 1%.
All right, Magnum, you know what to do.
Oh no! It's the bullet. Oh gosh!
You know what to do, Magnum.
I don't know what to do. Hey guys.
Oh, I was expecting double Hammas.
Yeah, John, hey.
Oh no!
Got a haircut.
Ah no!
Uh-oh.
I missed that side swing. That.
They let me roll. What the fuck?
I hate that swing sometimes. Weird. Oh my gosh! What do we have frames right now? What is this?
I know, right? Like it actually looks good for once.
God damn.
Same game.
That double raid. You and your arm.
Get out of here, Magnum. I'll body block. Get out of here. Go, Magnum. You don't have to take that from him.
That shield's not a shield, baby. Let's go.
Is that a fucking mine?
Yes. Get wrecked. Did you get staggered by it?
I'm getting pinned.
I did.
Were you boosting?
There's this little box thing, and the next thing I know, what the heck?
I was gonna say let's try that real quick.
No, I was not boosting.
Okay. Let's try it real quick. But it staggered you without it though, so it is an insta stagger at the very least.
Hold on. Need to get some different angles on this.
So I'm spawning in right now to test this
Damn, dude.
maneuver armor thing. So please don't
I didn't
wreck
even have
me.
to hold still.
Okay, guys, here we go. So I'm gonna shoot out some mines.
I don't have enough health, Gustav.
Gustav, what are you doing?
He's
said,
playing
what the
raid life. Oh God, Gustav, stop!
Are we?
Stop!
Are we? Can we test the maneuver armor?
PTSD.
Okay, there we go. There's some.
Right,
wow, those are way too clustered.
Do.
Okay, you took like almost all of them. So yeah, I guess it does it.
Hey, I'm over here.
Okay.
Let me do it. Oh no!
Yeah, if you walk into it, it's an insta stagger though. So it's an insta stagger, but doesn't break maneuver armor. It looked like it did. I was so happy. Oh no. Okay, it only does if you hit with enough.
Do you have any more? Because
Uh,
like if I did miss some, then that might be indicative. Like
yeah, you missed one. One hit emblem, kind of late.
Hang on there. Ah.
Yeah, you missed one again. So it's still flying through the air over there.
My wings are not big enough. They're like too thin.
So I wonder though, what is the stagger
Sorry,
rate? If you still have the stats up, Emblem. Go ahead and check what the
What the hell was that?
what the stagger rate on the main weapon is.
Okay.
Getting clapped by the boosto.
So my big thing,
I got proto, but missed entirely. Like, what the heck was that?
Let me grab some real quick.
so my big thing
stagger
with the
rate.
Oh, good.
25% on the main weapon.
Ooh, okay, so that's one. I think that's how I've been doing it because I'm pretty sure I hit them with that before they actually, did anything.
Yeah, that's substantial. You'll stagger them out real quick.
Yeah, because that's 75% right there. So if you even hit them with one, that's probably what happened. Because I probably pre-vomited and did that, and then if you walked into the walk into the bombs.
Yeah, like if you do it point blank, I kind of wonder if you could time that well enough and just be like, nah, stop.
Madam, giving everybody some sodas. What a pal. Hamma Hamma party time.
Oh no, you just got one more hit.
And there's a Gustav on the ground behind you, Lotus. There you go.
Okay, so the main thing with this suit is beam like heat rate.
I need to just not be afraid to spin on those a lot more. Oh, the extra swing.
Oh shoot! Gustav showed up out of the blue.
No.
Oh, that's right. It's a fake shield.
Got it. Yeah, I know, right? So let's talk about that then. I was gonna say, so the heat consumption is a big deal with this suit, but let's talk about its shield. That it's not a shield. Didn't they have on Twitter that shield check or whatever?
Yeah, shield check.
Oh
sure
my
was. Check what?
BS. BS check box. Like they need to give this a shield, and the GAN needs to have a shield, and we're good. Like the biggest problem with this suit right now,
shoulder buffers because of their shields too.
But like the if you could actually block a stagger like the GBO2 with this smaller shield, because it holds it when you're charging it, it holds it right in front of you, so it'd be perfect to just kind of, use.
Oh.
Oh no, I almost vomited on you.
Vomit
missiles. I missed. Don't hurt me.
I did too.
Oh.
No promises.
Gustav, why?
Hey.
Your melee priority BS. No.
Wow,
that beam does some shit.
Dude, the Hamma Hamma seems so nice. The beams seem to stagger really fast too, which is cool. You don't have to go for a full charge.
I mean,
just burst them down.
The more realistic take on this is that when they're by themselves, totally right. But like the minute they have backup from even a single Cubulate, you're probably gonna
get trouble. Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. The Cubulate exists, so raid life is hard right now. But like the big thing with the Hamma Hamma is keeping your beams from overheating. Like as soon as you overheat, the beam rate is pretty steep.
Have you tried doing any like mine perimeters around yourself, or do you find that your allies just run into them too much?
Allies run into them way too much.
Okay.
I've staggered probably, 20 allies to the 3 awesome staggers I've gotten on enemies.
Oh my god, I hate those. BST's coming up.
Ah, good dodge. Behind you. Behind you. Ah.
Oh wow, that was the first swing. Okay,
Baited.
but it should have rolled.
Okay, let's kill their base. Go, go, go. Base cheese.
Also baited. I saw him coming. Come on, bro.
Ha. But yeah, so the shield needs to be a shield, and its melee, by the way, is pretty mediocre.
Please.
Like,
Oh, I'm sure.
That's one of the things. Like, it hits pretty hard, but after doing some testing, like, I feel like they need to give it the full custom treatment and like actually buff its melee up. Friendly fire.
Oh god, an airstrike.
Friendly
Oh god.
fire.
Oop.
But oh no 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 no! Yes, damn it! Boost. And you're able to use your force injector.
Oh, it feels so good. So much boost on this thing.
Ah! No! Oh, I tried to tackle.
Woo! Let's
No.
go.
My knee! Ah!
Eat that.
Oh. But
What I would have
Yeah.
hit.
so having 24 melee modifier is pretty cool, but again, it's kind of, I don't know. You hit for about 2,800 was the most I think I hit for the neutral on a general,
Mhm.
which is nice, but you're not hitting for another gold box. What? More tokens, okay. I'll start the saving up of the tokens. But yeah, so yeah, as far as that goes though, got distracted by the tokens. The downswing is easier to hit. It's just its side swing and neutral just seem weird. They're kind of like it's a normal like Fetty downswing, but the thing is it's more to the outside even. So it's probably the lanky arms kind of thing going on. Oh, here we go again. Combo wise, I mean Lotus, what have you found with it so far?
I did not know my mic was muted.
Oh no,
Oh
that's
my
where he went.
Sorry, I noticed
I
it,
thought
but
you were on the match. Oh,
I'm sorry, but
I would have said something.
for me, I generally go from the mega beam cannon into the funnel because generally a lot of suits don't want to waste their dodge roll, especially if you only hit with one of the shots from the mega beam cannon. So if you go into the funnels, that's another free stagger, and then from there I would go into the main beam gun. And generally, if you get all 3 hits off with the mega beam cannon and go into the funnels, pretty much if you're hitting anything other than a general that's not able to get their dodge roll, you're going to shred their health for a pretty substantial amount.
This thing definitely claps. I've seen a lot of people end up being ace so far with it.
But that's really the only thing that I've found with it. The mega beam cannon confirmed until the funnels.
Probably the only other one would be mega beam cannon into the main weapon and then do funnels into the main weapon, but that's a little greedy for damage.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of wish the main weapon didn't build up so much heat due to it firing 3 times because you have to wait a few seconds to fire off another shot.
Yeah, you pretty much have
Case
to
you don't
alternate
know
everything.
Magnum, I counting.
Count on you. But yeah, that's been my problem with it.
Magnum, it was funny when Lotus was talking. You pushed up your glasses, and it like to me it looked like you were charging up a whale. Actually,
That's pretty good.
Go Lotus.
Oh, actually. No, that was a well. I agree. that a thing? Does that count?
It needs to be. Why do we have to? Why does everyone have to be so contrary, right?
Because fuck that shit. Contrary all the time. No.
Wait, Emblem. Wait.
I'm coming.
Oh, dang it.
Oh god.
It does have a very wide swing on it, though, and I like that it advances. So it's
Still hit. Come on, bro.
Ah.
So it definitely needs that some
Yep.
kind of update to the on you to the like it's melee in some way. It either needs more damage or give it that level 2 finally. I mean, come on, it's a 650 suit. Why did I shoot our own base?
It's okay, man.
That's a good Christian.
Like, I hate this map. Where do you start and where do you end?
Don't even go over there. It's fine. The best map. No war crimes.
I'm sorry, pilot.
Ah!
Oh, there's the war crime.
Let's fucking go.
Point new type.
War crimes.
War crime.
Crap.
Yeah, I'm definitely a lot less scared of the suit now that I know the shield is fake. That's so very unfortunate.
Yeah,
He
like
actually
that's the
doesn't,
biggest problem.
But yeah, we were talking about it yesterday. Like, no shield. Wah, wah.
I think another thing that's kind of the MLS takes away from this is that MLS does have instant stun potential.
Oh yeah, I mean, MLS still rules the roost right now.
Yeah, it's still definitely
Damn shield. Why are you trying to maneuver around your fucking giant shield? No safe stagger setup.
Yeah, the startup it's really slow.
But see, like that, you might have hit my shield. If this shield was actually a shield, you might have hit my shield, and I might have, you know.
The stagger on this actually puts the shield more in
you?
front of it, protected me from the Q belly a little bit. I mean, even if you did, he probably would have hit you instead, just because.
Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, so far I like it. It's a fun suit to play. That's one of the big things here. Definitely has that fun factor going for it.
It's so weird to see the game run smoothly sometimes and then just realize, oh god.
Yeah, right?
No. Cubalate.
Oh god, I got stuck.
But yeah, any other thoughts on it?
Fine,
I think right now, like, it has good bursts, but as a raid player, I'm gonna see it and be like, ooh, piece of candy.
The other thing is it's very tall. Like, there is not much you can hide behind.
Yeah, like 600 is definitely going to be a nightmare scenario for the Hamma. But 650, raids just had too much to contend with. They're too busy dying to other shit to really do anything.
Yeah, the range and power behind suits is just really rough. It's going to be tough. The generals won't even have to come to help you because they'll just shoot you to death. Yeah,
I will say it is still pretty rage-inducing that they believe giving supports force injectors is their defensive mechanism.
It's like not when you get so little boost.
Yeah, I feel you there.
In general, like, we're not force injectors. Doesn't have
like you're gonna use all your close range for thruster parts, right?
Yeah, you want to survive in melee. We'll just we'll give you these things and not enough boost to make it worth it.
Use the boost to go
chase, to run, to flee.
Ooh.
And not get fired.
Oh, got him! Oh, I finally got a counter on this thing. It's not as cool as the...
I was trying to lock onto Magnum, but it made me lock onto the base, so I had to swap weapons.
Go do it. Talk about them.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be very tough for anything to kind of top the Q delay.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the Q delay's out
right now is just like the MLRS and like really aggressive Mark II players or Zeta players.
say Zeta players more than Mark II players. I've been seeing.
You say that, but like the sweat for Mark II players is real.
I was gonna say some of the 600 cost Mark IIs are still doing some pretty crazy work.
I need those players on my team.
Watch them get a level 4 soon.
No, please no.
I need a higher level Zeta first, please.
For real though, right? But yeah,
a lot of higher level stuff.
I don't even have time to hit the triangle button.
Yeah, definitely don't sleep on the Kibele's melee. Like, it's just so quick.
I can't even do anything. That was an MLRS. I could have took both of you on.
I know. I still think the MLRS is king.
Hey,
like, I don't think the Hamma Hamma is going to give it a run
No,
for any kind of money.
No.
Not our base.
Sorry, I missed the call out for no war crimes. What was that?
No, that was a war crime. I said war crime.
I say
okay.
Magnum is a very toxic player and likes to do war crimes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I go in and try to call in bombs, but I'm afraid I'm just get funneled to death.
No funnels here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
As he base cheeses by himself.
Oh, I was
absolutely.
I am guilty of base cheese this time around.
I'm not from under that.
Oh, priority, no!
Yep, the priority.
No, I almost got force injector.
The goose is loose.
The goose is loose. Run.
Oh, it hit the shield.
Let's fucking go.
Oh,
Let's
my
fucking
God.
get it in.
Oh, no.
Like, what caused it a shield hit? Got absorbed, man. Jeez.
It's like those freeze frame, like.
All your boost gone now, Lotus?
Yeah, he boosted twice. We're good. I'm safe.
Yeah, he force injected. He's done.
No. Oh,
that actually hit you around the corner, too. Held your ass still. Let's go.
Oh, I don't have the same amount of time as you did, but do what I can. Oh no, the Cubele's back. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, you got the boss to fight. Fight the Cubele. But yeah. So, any other final thoughts about the Hamma Hamma?
Overall, it's a solid suit.
No, wrong way.
Oh yeah. You shitter.
I mean, it's definitely solid, but it's one of those things like the MLRS is just the. I don't know.
Come on, Funnels.
Like, I want to see what raid they come out with that can compete with the Hammurabi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like we can have a general that can compete with, like, the Cubele as far as frontline, but you probably want a Cubele, a double Zeta, and then something else. But it seems like right now, though, is we've got all this backline stuff that do you even want a frontline? And if you do, are they just going to get wrecked by all this pew? Because the biggest thing with the Cubele right now is it's like, look at that damage. You almost broke 200k in a 2v2.
That was base, though.
I mean, that is a lot of base, but you almost broke 200k in a 2v2, and I was hitting the base at the same time. So, it is a pretty.
I would say for the Hamma Hamma, I am disappointed due to it being the first native 600 cost, and it doesn't really bring anything, I guess you could say, innovative to the cost. It does feel very bland in comparison to what we do already have for supports. I was kind of hoping for it to kind of be the Cubele of 650 because Cubele has set a bar for what we expect from 650 suits going forward. Yeah. And I feel like we're not really getting that in terms of support.
We got the 04 of ground suits.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at
that is covered.
Well, look at the Hammurabi, right? If you want to compare native 600, sorry, Emblem, but Rage just got this awesome thing, and I mean, we got like Hammurabi is literally the top raid, maybe second if you're gonna try to wait against like the Striker Custom. And
at its cost, I think I could say with confidence that the Hammurabi is probably the best raid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At its cost, for sure. But like overall, like as far as equivalency of how strong raids are at that current cost, that's kind of what I'm saying. And the thing is, like, and we already have the MRS, and this doesn't compare at all.
I agree.
And that's kind of the sad part about it, because right now everything is weak against ballistic at this cost, pretty much. So, yeah.
So what you're telling me is waiting for the Zoo to come out and
Yeah.
save support?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just to save supports. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Gosh. Don't even joke, man. Don't even joke.
But no, I mean, I get what Lotus is saying. Because 600, honestly, native for a little while has been kind of like almost I don't know about testing bed, but it's almost like they kind of tried different stuff, and even in some cases, I was gonna say soft reset, but I don't know if that's quite what I mean. But it's almost like they were like, oh, we made the Mark II, and Stuff Striker custom. Like let's move up, but tone it down. Also doing stuff. It's like we had Biosensor, which is the first self-activating low health trigger thing, which makes because like the Zeta Gundam, besides having 2 melees to some degree, is pretty standard up until Biosensor activates. Then you could just literally go nuts. And you can to some degree without it, but when Biosensor's up, you're just all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention it's a get out of jail free card for that stun.
Right, yeah, absolutely. So I mean, they had a couple of things there. Hammurabi is able to like it does a lot of the same stuff that you see if like the donut and whatnot, but just the flight potential is so good on the suit. Like it I think I would say that like the Hammurabi and the Ashimar and like maybe the what's the one I got last night that
Gotcha.
yeah, the Gabfully.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe that one are like the only suits you actually want to transform into to be offensive. Everything else is like maybe for chasing or just like real niche moments or like finishers. But everybody else just everybody else feels kind of awkward, and they get out of their transformation mode so fast. So like it's almost like they're trying different stuff, and like Lotus said, it's just like they took some things from the full custom and we're like, all right, it's we made it, we gave it raid like skills, and we're how good of a job we're doing with those. It's like that's what the description on the website says about the suits. It's a support with raid like abilities, and it's just like, and you think that's a good thing?
Like, what raid are you looking at, by the way?
Give me a well, I mean, if you want to look at it, it's like the Zaku one with Zaku one with
oh my
force injectors. That's pretty much it.
With a big hitbox. Yeah, some Zaku with force injectors, but
ouch.
Honestly, I don't know.
I mean,
I kind of agree.
After it's buff with a full custom, it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Because I mean, if they're wanting you to use melee at all, they should definitely give it melee priority too. It should have more boost. Like it's ridiculous that suit has boost as low as it is at that cost. Because like the just another good example, the GBO2 has better boost than that, right? Like
oh yeah,
75 thruster on the GBO2.
Oh wow, those are like 35 more. Yeah, that's silly. I don't know.
And it has Force Injector 1, and you can boost more times than it with Force Injector 1. That's funny. Oh man,
they didn't give us the 04 on ground for some reason.
We got there almost, and then they just skimped on the thrust.
So it'll be interesting. They should definitely add something, like rather than reusing old skills, or either they do, just give it the Rick Diaz skill. Lotus was the first one that I heard about giving supports double tackle, and I think it's a great idea. Why does the New Zealand Diaz have it? Yeah. But outside of that, though, guys, if they were gonna fix the suit or buff it, if it for anybody that thinks it may need a buff, what do you think they would add to it?
Shield being a shield.
Yep, and also more thrust.
Melee pro.
Well, I mean, we've been barking up that tree with the Gian for a while, so but let's just pick one.
Get it retroactively.
Yeah,
Gian should get it too. Period. Like they should need both.
I agree with that.
But you're saying one buff?
Mm-hmm.
Shield being a shield. That would
What about
do
you,
more.
Gustav?
Probably just more thrust. If you're gonna give a force injector, then let it actually utilize it better.
Pixie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Lotus.
I guess to be different from what everybody else has said, lower the heat rate on its main beam gun.
Do what on its main beam gun?
Lower the heat rate.
Mm-hmm.
So that way,
it's only 20%. Is it 20% times 3 or is it
times 3?
Yeah, it's times 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that should probably at least do 10. That's probably a little manageable. Wow, 60, huh?
Yeah, if you fire it twice too fast, it overheats. You can actually overheat twice. And I tested it. It takes 8 shots from it to stagger. I don't know what the 25% thing is, but I had to shoot just to stagger the Gundam in the practice mode. I had to shoot 8 times.
Wow.
With the so like 8 hits.
Yeah, with the main weapon.
Do you think you had stagger fall off between shots?
Maybe because you have to wait, so there could be that. But the thing is, you just can't spam it. So even if it can stagger in 4, it doesn't seem like it staggers in 4. Either way, because if you spam it, you'll get, I think 6 off or 5 or 6.
Because if the heat rate was lower, it would be nice as a valuable poking tool. Because right now, it honestly just feels like the mega particle cannon is the main weapon, and that is more of the sub weapon. Because you literally just either go with the mega particle cannon, or you try to go for a form of instant stun with the little funnel hands, because that's as close as you have to an instant stagger.
Yeah, you pretty much have to always swap.
I think they should give it the skill that like the Zommel and the Zoc have, that lets you ignore like normal hits. It's like standard melee.
Fighting stance or whatever.
That's me not having him give it a shield.
Right. I was gonna say that's
especially with its size too, because it's literally like struggling to stay in frame. So it should be able to ignore more.
I just remember in chat earlier, like someone was like, "What the? It just makes that Shoes Room Diaz look so small."
I think that was.
That's because the Shoes Room Diaz has back problems and is hunched over all the time.
Yeah, it was Berserk.
It like
makes the screws him look so small, like it just towers over it.
Yeah, even with, I mean, its big cannon's kind of lean a little bit, so it's doing that little lean thing. But even then, it's just
got
like,
bad posture.
Oh, let me go ahead and pat you on the head way down there. It's the thing is, I was like, okay, I'm gonna hide behind these buildings. Okay, I gotta go prone. Because all these Cubulays are targeting me. I can't hide anywhere.
These tiny ass Cubulays, they're all super short. Like, what's that?
I'm trying to go behind the buildings
the
on
mobile
impact
suit
site.
that can look it in the eye.
There we go.
But should have a match between it and the Zoc. Oh shit!
I wonder which one's taller. It's definitely the Zoc. But yeah, for real though, the Cubulays though were just like shooting me, and I was like, I can't hide behind any buildings. It was impact site, and I was just like,
you're not safe.
I couldn't hide. I had to go to the little mountain on RN that that little hill next to like B or whichever one that is up there, C or D actually, whatever it is. But I had to go to that hill and hide behind it.
Gundam to the end of Hamma Hamma to find it on Google. There's a camp.
I know.
There's a campsite. I had to add Gundam.
I know what you found too. Like if you type just Hamma Hamma in YouTube, you gotta add Gundam to it as well.
So the Hamma Hamma is 24.03 meters tall. And the Zoc is 23.9 9.
What? Okay, are we about to go into a game just to check the height of this thing?
Oh, like in game.
Apparently, the O is 24.8 meters high. So
O's a huge bitch. That's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be amazing. Because we're starting to realize now that they're not opposed to putting big ass suits in. Like anyone who ever wants to be like, but that's like a mobile armor. Yeah, so is the Xeon and like half of the other shit in the Zoc. So like,
yeah,
fuck it.
I feel like we are going to reach a height limit.
Oh,
I'm not sure if we're going to see the Palace of Themes.
Hang on, I got a way to do this if I go quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised we got the Hamma Hamma. Just while Magnum's looking for that, I thought if we were going to get a Psychemu support from Double Zeta, that we were going to get the I just had a name, the Queen Masana or whatever.
Queen Mansa,
yeah.
We might still.
I thought we were going to get that.
Okay,
we still could. You're right.
Well, the Zoc definitely is thick, but
Okay, so Zamel, Zoc, and we need a Hamma Hamma in there.
Oh, Hamma Hamma's taller, I think, because of its antenna. Like the shoulders
just need to.
I mean, it's about it's a little tiny bit that you can't hardly see. That would be, but I think the shoulder might have it a little bit, or that little tiny antenna sticking up might be what they're counting.
You just need to do a big boy battle.
But this thing definitely has the tall thing going for it, which kind of is annoying. I definitely was getting poked way too much, and I couldn't find a place to hide.
Watch them have to do like some extra collision adjustments for it on certain maps later.
For real.
If we get to Quinn, it would be 42 meters tall.
Yeah, I doubt that. That's gonna be the next thing after
raid
this.
boss.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next boss fight. If they decide to put
follow up on Emblem's statement about the Queen Mansa. I had brought it up in chat, but someone in chat was like, the Queen Mansa is the size of Psycho Gundam. Like, it's a relatively huge ass suit, so it's unlikely that we'd get that as the support. But from what I was
I think it
reading,
would fit in though.
Potentially, I would like to see it though still. But on the upside, I think on the wiki, it was saying that the Hamma Hamma was the beginning of them trying to mass produce Psychemu suits.
Yep.
So I guess that's kind of leading towards the mass produced Cubile. So I guess that wouldn't be too far off. But after the anniversary, we don't know if they're going to jump back into Zeta to try to finish those suits off, because we're still missing the O and the Violent. And I believe, the Palace of Theme as well.
Get the Bound Dog.
Oh, my bad. Bound Dog. My bad. Giant ant booty mobile suit.
Oh, yeah.
Bound Dog would be amazing.
I don't know, though. I will just touch on this at the size of the...
give it the carabines from Mbon.
Oh, no.
Yes.
With the size of the Mantha, though, like, as we push further in, the suits are getting bigger. So... True. It might not be too ridiculous for us to start seeing suits, because I mean, the suits are starting to scale.
Pretty tough.
So I don't think it would be unheard of if we could potentially see the Mantha get released.
You just can't fit in certain spots. Like, you can't go under the bridges. You have to jump over them.
Feels Zoc, man, right?
I mean, if they do that, then they should retroactively release the Psycho.
Yeah, for real though, that'd be kind of.
I don't disagree there, because it's definitely taller than that. They need to make a new map. They need to make a map with a better scale for us.
Have them be like hero units or something. That'd be cool.
I mean, that's the thing too. I wasn't really thinking about that. I more just meant like just add in a Double Zeta theme map or something like that. And have the scale make sense for new suits too.
Large suit map, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
gotta get that big Zam in there somehow.
But yeah, pretty much the kind of back to the Hamma Hamma thing though, as far as like fixing it. I mean, it's a solid suit, right? But it definitely.
I think the damage is there.
Like, the damage is there, but it definitely needs something. It needs more utility, and the shield thing you said that skill, which would also work. I would take that too. They don't want to actually give it a shield, but that's pretty much what the shield does for the GBO2. Is like, oh, there's a raid coming at me. Block. I didn't get staggered. No big deal. I'm running. See ya. Peace. You know, right? You get that. You get that one get out of jail free, unless they're gonna break your, unless they, stagger you through like build up, and that's the big thing for that shield, or just to have a shield period at this point. We've kind of seen that with the Gaulless J as well compared to the Mark II. I was wondering if it would kind of dethrone the Mark II because stat-wise and on paper, it kind of has it beat a little bit. And in some ways, it can shoot better and do a few things like that. But as far as just getting in there, having a shield with having similar stats, you have less health, but just being able to every now and then get saved because Shield Senpai is like, nah, man, you're not staggered. We good.
Yeah, I got you, bruh.
Yeah,
and then you get in there with that melee priority 3 on top of that. It's like, yeah,
that's where it gets rough. So, I was curious to see how that would work. So shields are a big deal still. So I'm kind of sad that this thing doesn't have it. And it holds it right in front of itself so well too. It's just like right.
Yeah, that's
there.
kind of silly on their part.
I feel like they pick and choose which suits that they want to take that effort into, because the Bald Guy Beta is another instance of a suit having a weapon as a part of the shield, but the shield still acting as a shield. So I kind of feel like that's just BB Studios not wanting to put that effort into like doing that coding, I suppose, because as we've seen with the, what is it? I can't think of the raid at lower, giant shield with the Gatling in it.
The guard custom.
Yeah, guard
custom. Yeah.
So they're fully capable of making shields that operate as weapons as well, but
and then they explode.
And they still operate the way they're supposed to. So, I mean,
it's
Hamma Hamma holds his up in a similar fashion. It's not as big, but it does hold it up to that side. I would say the only real downside to the Mega Particle Cannon, from what I've seen, is that the over the shoulder being on the right side and you're holding the Mega Particle Cannon in your left side. So, you could potentially lose quite a few peak advantage fights from that.
That is true. I am used to it being on the left, though, with the GBO2, so I'd be fine with it for a little bit. But
right.
I feel that.
Are we doing another match?
I was going to say...
Did I already close it or not?
No, go ahead and keep it up. We can go ahead and hop in with the Unit 4 and the Unit 5 if you guys got them.
I didn't roll.
Let me switch accounts then, and I'll get back in, because I got it on new stuff.
Okay. And then we can go ahead. Any other thoughts on the Hamma Hamma? And if not, we can go ahead and talk about the Unit 4.
I just want to add one more thing, because what Lotus said was interesting. I kind of think that in that regard, like, I hope it's not laziness, but I would almost say they're doing this on purpose, for sure. Like, I would love to hear the reasoning for them not giving a shield. Like, it can't be because they think the suit would be too good. Although, honestly, I wonder. I mean, maybe
it feels like it needs help already, for sure.
Well, I just have to wonder, because like I could easily see somebody making an argument for like the Gian not needing a shield because it would make it OP. Just like think about it. Like, could you imagine the Gian already has maneuver armor, dodge roll, and then
it's a free stun though, especially since it's an advancing. When it holds up in front of it, like if you don't get the MA, there's a good chance you can just bust that shield for a free stun.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
I mean, I feel you there. I'm definitely on the
because it constantly holds
shield
to its
army.
body.
But just like, why? I wonder why they would think that those shields shouldn't act like shields,
especially for this suit, because due to its height, how exposed the suit is, having that shield would help quite a bit in a lot of different engagements.
I think the argument for the Gian was like the where it's pretty much all of it is still shooting. You wouldn't be able to tell that it's destroyed. if it's destroyed.
Yeah, I think I did say something like that.
I think
but
that was
who
their reason.
cares?
Yeah,
that's your job to figure out. Get in there. Just have it be like frayed and fucked up around until it reaches the barrels.
Yeah, I mean, literally, they just need to have a huge black spot appear in the middle of the shield that doesn't do anything when it's destroyed or something like that.
Have a crack going across it, letting you know it's been damaged.
And then like
Yeah,
the
or
guard
something.
custom, yeah, the guard
Not
custom.
to mention, the minute you shoot it and you see that you're doing damage, you're gonna anyway.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not popping up shield.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly,
Like we have enough
just the
information
spot raids
feedback.
are in. Yeah, I think being able to fake out a shield is a thing that's good and should not be a reason for a suit not to have a shield.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just an extra. That's like literal extra protection because they're not sure, so they're gonna try to shoot around it, and it gives you more time to react. Like it's a good thing, and they should probably just do it anyway.
Yeah, that's because I'm pretty sure that was the reasoning with the GAN that I remember looking up.
Mm-hmm.
And
that reason is what
I agree.
But yeah.
So how big is the Hamma Hamma shield and like the guns on it and stuff?
Not big, but like it doesn't even give it that much coverage, really, with how big this suit is.
Oh, this picture doesn't even have the shield on.
Yeah, I could probably.
It looks like most of the shield is well, I don't even know about that. How do the beam cannons even shoot out? They're like pointing downward.
Yes.
Oh, here's a shot where it looks a little bit better. Okay, and the pictures I saw there, this picture's like pointing straight down, but this is a little bit better.
But it's kind of like it's comparable to like one of the little combat shields from like, say, the weapons rack or something like that.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't explode. That's all they would have to do. Just saying.
It can all be so simple.
But
all right, get Lotus this time.
I mean, at the very least, that's another good point from what Berserk said. Just have a pseudo shield. You know, where it gives some
buffer, yeah.
Oh, I think so too. I'm surprised it doesn't have shoulder. I agree with that. Like shoulder something, shield, special shield buffer, something like that.
I mean, that's kind of what they did for Double Zeta with the arms.
Yeah, exactly. I do not disagree. I think that would be a good call if they're gonna cop out.
I was gonna say, if you had the 5, you should probably run.
Okay, I could rock the 5 real quick. But yeah, we can just go ahead and talk about both of them, I guess. Let me change.
I'm gonna start off with the Unit 4 because I feel like the 5 is probably what everybody pretty much pulled for. But so I guess we'll start off with the smaller fish. I really like what they did. I heard Magnum say people mentioning that they nerfed the suit. I actually really like what they did with it. It feels like the MBL is more than just a meme, and it's actually valuable, and you're not putting your team at too much of a risk having to stop and charge for 10 seconds.
Special beam cannon effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think nerf's a bit of a strong wording for it too.
Well, technically, it is higher DPS, so it is a buff
Because you can
to
shoot
the
more,
DPS.
right?
It's 33 seconds if you got the same parts on. If you put the cooldown parts on, it's 33 seconds and compared to a 75-second on the normal Unit 4. And since you can, shoot it twice as fast, literally, it actually is a buff. You can actually end up dealing more damage. So I convert up my screen. Oh no. Here we go. And yeah.
That's why you have a dodge roll now.
Yes. Be afraid.
Be arrayed. Be very arrayed.
Oh no!
Oh, my bad.
I even dodge rolled and died.
I would say initially I was a little upset that they did this. I didn't know the BSTs were a thing or even what BST stood for. And I felt like this was just them like throwing out upgraded, better versions of the
just
suit.
Making shit up, yeah.
Yeah, just trying to basically take their consumers' money. So I was a bit ticked off initially, but after playing the suit, because I guess you could say from that perspective, I was like, instead of just buffing the Unit 5 and giving it a dodge roll, you release an entirely different Unit 5 and give it a dodge roll.
Yeah, when we get to the Unit 5, one thing to kind of point out is, oh wow, that actually moved quite a bit.
Yeah, it did.
Were you zoomed in or zoomed out?
I zoomed out.
Okay. Maybe that's what I messed up on.
God, seeing you fucking running that Mark III. I got one the other day. I'm kind of interested.
Oh no, he actually went with a tackle. My leg.
Mark III is so nice.
But yeah, as far as it goes, the for the Unit 4, the big thing with the Unit 4.
That still hit me.
Yeah, man, this is like oh, come on. This is like proto like level of BS like dual beam sabers. Oh, it actually is more like what the Pell Rider ground swings. I think is what the.
Oh yeah, for the 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
really?
5, yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't do a. I didn't even see the space type. I thought the space type did the little like /2. Like
maybe it's
I feel
the
like
space type. Maybe it's the space
I mean,
type.
Red Gundam.
Both of them.
Red Gundam does like a Cubile like slash from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's a much wider slash.
Yeah, I could go with Cubile. But the
it
big
goes
thing
at the same speed, but yeah, it's definitely Cubile style.
Because it's out to the sides as opposed to like diagonal. It's not like a slash or whatever.
Instead of it being like a cross, like the Freak Kai.
But yeah, so for the Unit 4, the big thing is again it actually got a DPS increase as far as its main. Wow, that's pretty ripped. I'm hitting you for like 79 per shot.
Oh shoot, that is a bad guy.
Oh no!
Can't you tell from my obnoxious paint scheme?
Hit you for 4,500 on that downswing.
Yeah, this thing collapsed now.
Oh
yeah,
shoot!
2,300 for just the neutral on emblem there. But yeah, Unit 4 though, spot gun still the spot gun. The weapons, I don't like the bazookas. I can't stand those bazookas from the G3. They take 7.3 seconds to ready up.
It should use its own bazooka.
Yeah, like the bazookas kind of suck from the G3. They do 900 damage when the beam does 1,800. So even if you hit, it's the same just without a charge. And then if you charge up, you deal more damage with the beam. So I don't get what the benefit of having the bazookas other than maybe doing the splash damage thing.
Just
you really like bazookas?
Bazooka shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's also a on-demand instant stun.
Yeah.
That's better against maneuver armor. But I feel you there.
Wait, will
like
it, will
they gave
it
a general.
armor?
Well, I don't
Or
think
at
it
least
will,
it
but
has
I'm more
some
just saying it's more stuff towards the stagger gauge.
Probably break it faster.
But I mean, yeah, Dermastake was giving a general something that was made for a raid. Everything that raids get weapon-wise are just like toned down, you know, because you can't completely dominate to supports for some reason unless you're hitting them. So I mean, I feel you there.
Yeah, but I mean, if you like bazookas, fair enough. But yeah, I don't care for it. It's way too much. Hey.
I feel like that in that sense they did want to make the suit more, the MBL more valuable, and I'd say they definitely accomplished that. I sorted into a 500 space match earlier. That's where I did my dailies on, and I was actually able, while my team they pushed up, took 5 seconds to charge a shot, hit 3 targets in one, did really good damage.
Piercing fire.
Force injector, why? You see me just boost? Come on. Oh, come on.
As far as the Gatling on the Unit 5, due to it being not as much of a range, not as much as a range suit, I used it against a Nemo 3 earlier. It still did pretty substantial damage with continuous fire. So against supports, I see it still being valuable, and maybe even raids. Generals, not so much. The type disadvantage is probably just going to nullify most of the damage that you're putting out.
You're talking about the
well, here,
go ahead, Magnum.
I was gonna say real quick. Let's finish on the Unit 4, but yeah, I agree with that on the Unit 5. And it's also 25 less damage on its actual Gatling as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is less damage
at the equivalent cost. Yeah. So like, it's now melee focused and it's less damage at the cost. So it's kind of ripped. But you know, they gave it super clap damage when it comes to the beam sabers.
Thank you, Gustav.
No, you already staggered me. He didn't.
Yeah. No, he saved me, man. Like,
no, your shot already staggered me. I was already staggered before. Yeah. But the so yeah, the as far as the Unit 4 goes, the MBL, like, the other thing too is, you know, you hit 3 people. You said, Lotus. So that, like, the big thing there is, you know, you've got a longer stagger with that. It's pretty much like the Zoc. You know, it's got that Zoc effect from the beam or the double Zeta. You're just like, okay, everybody sit down for a second, and teammates go have fun, and that kind of thing, right? And that's pretty much the big gimmick with it there. So that's another thing. I would argue that it increases its damage value even higher because of that.
Because you can shoot more and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
you can shoot more, you can stagger more, so then your teammates can get more damage in. You know, you're not just boom hit. You've hit whatever you shot at the time. People walk into those beams all the time. Like when I'm playing the Zoc, I'll have people walk into those beams like 2 or 3 times, just firing the beam off.
I'll say this though, I would compare it to like a variant play style more so than saying it might be better or worse. Like there are some cases where like it can be argued that having that big damage like burst is fine, and others where it might make more sense to be able to do like sustained big shots over the course of the match. In some cases, like I think there's a case for both for sure with the Unit 4.
I mean, that kind of goes back to what I said about double Zeta, because I did, because I mentioned it last time me and Emblem was talking about the double Zeta, where I felt like it would be better if the double Zeta did do a flat burst damage similar to the regular Unit 4, as compared to that of the, you know, dot damage holding the beam. But I guess it's a preference per person. I do feel like the double Zetas could be better, but his is more effective to the fact that you can't go prone.
Yeah. Also, the fact that you just can't move it as much.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing too with the as far as the burst kind of thing, pretty much have to use the burst, and because they've definitely got it into the rotation of each suit. So a good example, looking at the 7th Gundam, like if you charge up its beam, you pretty much have to be in the right position, charge it up, and shoot. And if you can get the beam off right, like as soon as you charge it, you just pretty much release. Like you can actually pull some really crazy damage numbers with that, but you have to have that ready to go. Otherwise, you know, you're pretty average, right? But if you really want to push that suit, find the right spot, charge up the beam, let it go. And, you know, if you end up wasting any time at all, like, well, there's no targets here, time to stand up and go somewhere else, then you've kind of wasted it. But that's like the biggest example of, where they've wait, did we eat out?
I closed the room to make another one.
Okay. But that's kind of the biggest example
invites, though.
of just really having to use that insta beam. But it's really solid though. You can really push some crazy numbers. I've seen well into the 100Ks from a couple of 7s when they're actually just charging up the beam, letting it go, and then getting in there and doing work at the same time. And the normal Unit 4 kind of has to do that. And if you miss, it's a big oof, but you still have to use the beam. Oh, we're in space. Good call. I'll do some Unit 4 things this time. But yeah, I agree. It's definitely a different playstyle. Definitely one I prefer.
Yeah, I say at first I wasn't really happy with the banner. I guess because I kind of expected it to be what the FB was last year. So it kind of took me surprised when I saw it. But this banner was kind of an answered prayer for me because I did avoid 500 cost because one, I didn't have a 500 cost raid that I like to play because the Mark II is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I did pull for the Arjarja, but I wasn't looking enough to get it. And all I really had was BD2 level 3, Agzaku Commander level 3, the Bolanoke, and I'm not the biggest fan of the Bolanoke. Unit 5 level 2, I have Gian. I've never sorted in the Gian, not once. The light armor, assault armor, G3, and it just pretty much came down to me using G3, but I wasn't really I can use the suit, but I don't have fun with it. That makes sense. So I wasn't really happy playing 500 costs, and both of these suits I do really enjoy.
Actually forgot I got the custom, but when we were talking before about the Unit 5, yeah, I definitely like this version of it better. Because again, dodge roll.
Yeah. And the Gatling is not as powerful due to your range value being lower, and the 500, I guess you could say, variation of the Gatling, be it the level 2 on the original or the level 1 with this variation, does 25 less damage. It still does pretty nice damage to supports and raids alike. And even if that's not the case, if your rocket's reloading, it does build up stagger decently well, so you can just pelt from the background.
I do like the Gatling with the in space though. Like it is definitely pretty good in space.
Yeah. Honestly, the only downsides with these two suits and the upgrades that the suits got just for the shields was definitely worth it.
I can agree with you there. Because I personally think the Red Gundam is really good. I think it's much better than the normal version.
It still just makes me wish that the original had a role, and then everything else about that suit I actually like.
Yeah.
Like I like being able to do decent dock at range. I like being able to just alternate between the two because it's actually pretty well balanced in terms of its output when you get parts on it.
Yeah, I'd say having a roll is pretty nice.
Ooh,
if they could give it a roll, then I think.
But I would definitely say
definitely be diverse.
I did switch up my weapons for it. I don't feel like with the Unit 5, the new one that I need to utilize the Hyper Beam weapon. I do feel like the rocket launcher is a better fit to the instant stagger. I'm able to get in there, do what I need to do, and get out. I guess the Blue Gundam is kind of a toss-up.
Oh, my head.
Whoa! It's so cool to see that.
So the splooge doesn't drop when you're in space. I was compensating for the fall, and gravity isn't a thing here, so kind of just went straight.
How do you feel using the Hyper Beam gun Magnum? in comparison to the rocket launcher.
Oh, I love it compared to the rockets. I hate rocket launchers, but I'm not a rocket launcher person at all.
For me, it's just since it's actually like on a different suit. Like I'm gonna try to use it just because it's a little bit more unique to that. Since the double rocket launchers don't get used in all that stuff, and hopefully, like they change the properties of it over time.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I'm hoping that they buff it. Like that's the big deal. It's on the general now, so hey, there we go, guys. Right?
Yeah.
Time to buff it. But yeah, as far as it goes, the I don't know. Just if I could aim, then I just the beam would definitely be a bit better for damage, or a lot better for damage, because literally every 2 seconds you can do the same amount of damage that thing can.
Not to mention, just neutral shots are good at picking at limbs and stuff too. So, and it's got some pretty serious range on the charge shots.
Oh yeah. Ah!
Nope, none of that.
And I wasn't in range either. No.
I guess that's the other downside about the media, that it doesn't make you take that hard knee.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll
say anything, dude. Your ability to hit fucking stuff with just normal beam shots makes me envious as hell.
Man, you get your damn dodge roll back fast.
Oh my god, my boost. No.
You have a double dodge roll on this thing, Magnum? You holding out on me?
Secret strat.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until you run out of boost in this thing by trying to like maneuver a bunch though.
Like I'm trying to capitalize on him. He always has his dodge roll with me.
Lordy.
Yeah. Woo. Shoot the base. Kill the base.
I'll deal damage like you do.
But yeah, overall the changes to Unit 5 I think are definitely the, whereas the Unit 4 would be,
somebody called the police. Oh no.
The Unit 5 is definitely like a superior suit.
Yeah, I think it comes down to what you want to do. Like, I think it is because I like to hit things, but
I mean,
I think I feel you there, but I know there are people who play Gundam Unit 5 and their game plan is to just shoot things and DACA.
I mean,
they don't get into melee.
That's my game plan pretty much.
I don't get close to me because then I can actually hit back, but like
and like if that's your play style, like having to shield I think is better for those people because it gives more
you have to have that shield.
Like I have more output and I just have a shield. Like it sucks that I had the roll, but I'd probably still stick with the original. If anything, I'm just hoping for higher level versions of it at this point.
But yeah, you pretty much have to have that shield.
It's nice to have the boosted suits as a different flavor, though, especially if you feel like you can actually get in there and be aggressive. 500 cost is definitely a better bid than putting it up higher. So
I would say the Unit 5 definitely receives a much, I guess you could say, greater stat boost in comparison to this, because like if you put a lot of melee parts on the Unit 4, you can get that thing up to
I got my toe.
An additional 60% damage. But
fucking Lotus killing me off with Goose Stop. Like I was about to get that hit too.
I have to protect my goose.
Oh no! Finish off the goose. No.
Oh, I was on a boost.
They finish you off.
But I have range parts on the Unit 4. It only gets up to like 47.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't get my dodge roll that time.
Kind of wish I could get the damage modifier higher. I meant to do a side swing there.
Like it wasn't so much of a big deal on the original, just because it was an all-in-one shot.
Yeah.
Like if you only get them with a little bit of the stream beam on the boosted, then you're gonna feel it, the lack of damage.
Especially since you don't have that hard knee stagger anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want to make sure you're landing all of the hits.
Oh,
yeah. I guess that's where I'm really grateful for the 5-second charge time.
It's like the old Budokai Tenkaichi games. Like all the big beam stuff is in waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
this is a Bamco game?
Who would have thought?
Come on, Emblem. I just want to play.
Yeah. Just waiting for my pal to come play too.
Oh, by the way, does the normal Unit 5 have maneuver armor too?
Pretty sure.
I could have sworn it had level 2 at 500 cost. Can't be too certain.
Magnum, fuck off! Oh no, that's Gustav.
What your team?
Yeah, fuck off, Magnum.
Fine. I'll leave.
He saw the barrage and was just started having flash.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely associate barrages with Magnum. For sure.
Oh, this is good. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nice. Oh, that is good. That is hilarious. Oh, 10 out of 10. But yeah, final thoughts on the Unit 4 and the Unit 5.
I like the 5.
I like them both. Solid.
Yeah, definitely don't mind rolling again to get the 5 at this point.
Give the normal Unit 5 a dodge roll.
That too.
That's my final thought on the Unit 4 and the Unit 5.
But they're slowly buffing raids by making you buy new ones.
Well, I just start getting more boosted suits. And they just start making it. It's like MSV just got a new wave of suits out. Totally not coincidental.
I mean,
MSV suits we didn't get.
Like, that aside, I would like to see more Battle Operation original suits. I think that would be cool. There's only one.
Yeah, that'd be
which one was it?
We'll see.
Zaku
tank.
Oh. I mean, for sure. I mean, they definitely have the platform to do it. Just make it balanced.
You don't have to show this one. I just want to get my space daily done. You can just stand around if you want.
Yeah, we can get in there. Might as well.
Nailed it. You know, we'll do this. Okay. Well, I guess if there's no more thoughts on the Unit 4 and the Unit 5, we can go ahead and talk about, I guess, the question mark box speculation, unless we want to throw in any other topic.
I guess for a side topic, I'm just kind of really curious as to where the game is going to go from here. Because I saw in Emblem's chat, they were mentioning, you know, at this point, we can just really go back to a lot of older suits from the first game that we didn't touch up on, especially since they brought out the BST suits. Because we were all under the impression that they were just going to keep the double Zeta theme going.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely didn't see this coming. So it kind of makes me wonder where we're going to go to after all this is said and done. They're going to go back for. They're going to start bringing out older GBO2 suits. Still waiting on my full armor slave wraith here.
And my Rams.
Yes. Full armor slave wraith. Let's go.
So it's definitely going to be interesting seeing where we go from here. I know a lot of people are still waiting for their advance of Zeta.
I know people waiting for shotgun Alex's.
Oh, yeah, shotgun Alex.
No.
It'd be amazing. Hell
Get that
yeah.
out of here. No.
Put it on the original song. I need that in my life.
But yeah, as far as it goes, in that regard, like, how far do we think they're gonna go? Like, do we think we're gonna see like 700 cost by Christmas? What do we think's gonna be that?
I feel like 700.
I think 700 is a bit of a jump for Christmas. I joke about it, but I hope we don't get to that point.
I mean, with how fast they're going, we've already gotten 600 and 650 in the same amount of time, so Christmas would be following their same timeline right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm like scared when I joke about the Sharks counterattack at Christmas.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not real.
I guess they'll start off with
like if they do that, then they need to start wrapping it up. Like, you can't be going this far just in like one go.
I guess they start off with like the Rigsy and then go into the Gyaradogas and go from there, really. But the Rigsy would probably be like 550, 600 costs. So, don't really know what they would start off with 700. Because I don't think they're just. I think New Gundam is Sazabi, however you pronounce it, is definitely above a 700 cost.
I mean,
So,
I agree.
yeah, I agree too. But like with what they've done so far, I'm not surprised by anything like that they try to do.
Yeah, like it's so hard to say that it's like, oh, well, that's like from the 0090s. It's like, shit. Like Zeta to Double Zeta was such a tight timeline anyway.
Yeah.
it was really just too soon.
I would see that as more of a 600. Like, I really was not expecting the jump as much.
I feel like Impartial Double Zeta came soon.
Your shield!
As well to get the Jubilee out.
Sorry.
But at the same time, I feel like they could have did what we were all kind of hoping, or well, predicting that they would have done, like have the O and the Jubilee come out during the anniversary.
No.
It's kind of hard to tell what they're going to do going from here on out, or what their plans are.
Yeah, it's really up in the air because we still got so many random side stories and stuff and like extra material. Like, you go back to Katana again, you know, get that thing.
It's from Zeta Define.
Yeah, there's that too.
Tarzan Refined would be amazing.
So, I mean, there's a lot of options that they could go with.
Yeah, there's literally an
Saints
MSV. There's literally an MSV Twitter that shows you all the possibilities.
Saints have how lowball the Double Zeta was. Maybe wouldn't be too obscure to think of the Sazabi and stuff as a 700. Which I mean, I guess if they're being as cautious with those suits as they were with the Double Zeta, I could see it. Also, I just feel like it'd be a better, or maybe not a better, but I feel like it'd be more Cubulate type stuff.
Yeah,
but
I mean, honestly, I feel like they not only lowballed the Double Zeta, but they like underpowered it so that they could. You think about its presence and some of the kind of shit it actually does in the show. Like, it's nowhere near that level, and it probably should be stronger than it is.
Not to mention the other, like there's enhanced Double Zeta, and then not to mention the full armor, which is considered.
Yeah, a lot of people were trying to call the Faz for the.
Yeah, I figured it would be follow the same thing. That was one thing that was surprising. I figured it would follow the same style that they did last year, and whatever the first suit was, they were going to give out a different version of it.
Like the Double Zeta enhanced or the Faz.
Or the Faz or the full armor. Yeah, any one of those three.
Or the other Faz that we saw that has like a gun the size of a ship.
Yes. Give me more intensification of barrages, please.
Damn, Emblem just doing drive-bys on me.
I'm trying to run you over. Oh, was my X button not going? What the heck? I was like holding it. I was like, yeah, I got him this time, and it wasn't boosting.
Hey.
Damn, Magnum.
Ah, dang your
Vulcans.
shield again.
I know, God, it pisses me off.
Oh yeah, I don't have Vulcans either, so I can't.
Like, this doesn't have Vulcans, and the Zero Shiki's Vulcans suck so bad. It's like, it just doesn't get better.
Just Vulcan me, lol.
Oh my gosh, speaking of Vulcans, the
Over here,
Vulcans on the
Magnum,
Unit 4. I'm trying. I got.
Oh my god.
I'm over here trying to wiggle my ass around.
3.5 seconds, man. 3.5 seconds.
Where are your funnels at?
They're on 20 seconds. His shield. My funnels got blocked by his shield. Again, reasons to have shield. Oh my.
Oh man, the Mark III feels good though. Holy shit.
But yeah, the speaking of the Vulcans on the Unit 4 and 5, the Vulcans do nothing. Like literally the Vulcans I think have 52 damage I think on the Unit 5.
Oh yeah, the Vulcans.
I was kind of sad they weren't Mark II level.
It just sucks that they're getting it to the fact that it's just like a on those.
Oh man, I went back to repair.
Wait, who repairs? What is this?
Okay, Mr. Intensified a base destruction.
I mean, base destruction aside.
Magnum
repairs?
went from green mobile suits
I never repair.
diapers to green mobile suits with skirts.
Yeah, there we go. It's either got a skirt or a diaper. Let's go.
As a skirt diaper combo, dress casual diaper.
Emblem, just let me shoot you.
No.
Yes.
Oh fuck, I missed.
Oh.
But yeah, that's.
How'd you even get in position to be able to shoot me? What the hell? Or win, maybe be a better way to put it.
It's kind of cool.
Go
to
up,
see
go
the
up!
pre-release I'm on my way. I'll go after Gustav.
There you go. Your opponent is me.
Oh boy. I don't know. It still feels like it's
He
me.
missed.
Ow.
Ah!
Stop flying up, you green bastard.
I got gimbal. I got gimbal. Ah! No.
Catch this.
Ah! Drive by, emblem, go. Ah, I'm dead.
I missed.
I should have just went and base cheese.
Ah, you.
Oh yeah!
You piece of shit. Ah, you should have been dead.
Iframes work for once ever. That's some new type stuff. I felt it coming.
His cheeks started to twitch. He's like, huh, no.
My cheeks are so tense right now. Oh,
I don't want to clap. I don't want to clap. But yeah, the okay, so as far as it goes with what they got coming next, I mean, it's really who knows at this point. Like I said, I just hope that they don't go too far with the 700 and 750. What? Failed to execute
Can I close the
network
lobby?
command. Okay. But yeah.
We still got 700 to go. In terms of the cost sorting.
Oh yeah,
I don't think
that is true.
At all yet. Which is interesting. Like, I wonder if that's actually their projected stopping point, or if they actually do expand it. Are they going to like shift some of the suits at that point?
That would be really interesting.
Yeah, I don't think they would. Honestly, I don't see them unless they like overhaul the entire system. I don't see them doing like.
I mean, they probably should regardless, just because this is like several
wrong.
years old and nothing has really been like changed in that regard.
Sure.
Well, when I say that, I mean like the cost. Are you talking about like change to like updating stuff or switching to like something else?
Both. I mean, like updating stuff and then just like shifting certain suits around from where they actually start baseline. Kind of like how we were talking about doing, kind of like the opposite of them doing a cost crunch to like a cost expansion, I guess. If they actually go past 700.
I can see that.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Let's sort tea together.
I don't know.
I got a friend request, and a message says, "Stop following us, sad face." And I was like, "Why did you send me a friend request?"
What does that mean? What does that mean?
What?
I just noticed it. Apparently it's really old.
From you and it's like just
Guess
gone.
I were bullying some kids.
I guess so, but why would they send me a friend request?
Were you just like clapping the dog shit out of people in pubs?
Dude, I don't even know. I don't know who this person is.
Don't bully me, Raid.
Not my cheekies. Did you open up another room or?
No, I logged. I'm like switching accounts.
Yeah, okay. I've got the thing down now. So I guess we can go ahead and talk about the suit speculation. What do we think, and the reward speculation of week 5?
For the gift, I would like to say the gift would be a mobile suit. Like for the gift to be a mobile suit.
I agree.
Personally, I would like for it to be, say, either a 450 cost or a 500 Mephis. I say that because I'm from experience, I had trouble using suits that utilize the transformation flight mechanic, like Zetas, Gaplants, things like that. Mm-hmm. And I really didn't get adapted to using such suits until I got the Gaza C, to where it was at a lower cost and it didn't feel as punishing not being good with that suit. I think I guess they technically already gave out the Gaza C, but seeing everything that we already do have currently and everything that they're releasing, I kind of don't really see any harm in releasing the methods or giving it out for free, seeing is that there's nothing really too unique about the suit in itself. I guess
having it be a banner suit would be weird.
Yeah.
The methods would be awesome. 30 beam sabers, chaff grenade, transformation mechanics. Don't squander that on an event suit. They'll just make it shitty.
Well.
He's just pissed because he wants it to be a raid with all those sabers.
Oh yeah,
I do. And I wanted the beam chaff grenade to be in, so I can set up a death zone where freaking Mark IIs can't shoot me in the back while I'm murdering their support.
That would be interesting. Oh no! Please no.
Yes.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that would be kind of cool. So yeah, if they do give out a suit, that would be what would make sense, is giving out some kind of suit like that, right? My thing is, they've already given out tokens. They've given out tickets. Or wait, well, we got I mean, I guess we got tickets for the missions. Maybe did we? I mean, we've had a banner with.
I think so. Yeah,
we've had a step-up banner with tickets. So there's.
More couldn't hurt at this point.
Yeah. So we got a suit coming. We got a weird step up. Who knows what that's going to be? Did they do the one last time where it was like a? I don't remember what they did last time for the. Oh well. So we're gonna get some step up banner. I really though, I'm like, who knows what that's gonna be. But are they just gonna give us more tokens though? I mean, that's the only thing that's kind of valuable that I could see them giving us again. That would be just awesome. Like more tokens and tickets.
Give us on top of a new suit.
I mean, yeah, I'll take that, sure. But I mean, that's the thing. Either a new suit. That's something that I wasn't thinking about. So I could see that. That'd be cool. Giving us just straight up another suit. Just like, here you go.
I'm gonna say, kind of touching back on what we kind of brought up earlier. Second anniversary, like the first anniversary is a big deal, and I kind of think maybe it's the way that they're keeping such tight wraps on it. I think that the potential of them doing a another original battle operation suit and have that be the gift is not impossible. It'll be a general, of course.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just call it second anniversary Gundam for right now. But I think that'd be pretty neat. Who am I kidding? BB Studios or Xeon fans. We'll call it second anniversary Gelgoog.
It'd probably be the
Yeah.
Yes.
birthday act guy.
Yeah, there you go. Birthday act guy fires candles.
Oh my god.
Party poppers for the instant stun.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. If they want to do that. Realistically, it's probably just gonna be some stupid K-Cat or something with a 2 on it for your pilots wearing to base camp. But if we're dreaming big, going mobile suits, I would love to see a anniversary custom suit or something. That'd be pretty sick.
That'd be really cool.
Also, let us see you're muted again. I don't know if you did it on purpose.
Uh-uh.
I'm guessing that one's on purpose.
That is.
Possibly, yeah.
But yeah, the so I guess we could go to the step up. What do we think the step up's going to be? I've got an idea. I just don't like the idea of it because they valued it really highly the last time they did it with the 5 times step up, where it was like you can get a 5 times bonus to 3 stars. Well, you know what? Last time they did that, I think 4 of the step ups. You know how many 3 stars I got? 0.
Hey.
This step up, you know how many 3-star materials I got?
None.
0.
It's almost like gotchas are trash.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I take no faith in the boosted percentage rate banners. They're about as troll as guarantees are bust. Pretty much is what I'm getting at. If it ain't a guarantee, you're not going to get anything nice unless you get lucky.
Yeah, so
and at that point, of course, you could say it was worth it. You got something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of like the Unit 5. I'm like, cool, I got another raid that I like. You know, I've got the
It's
Striker.
like saying something's always in the last place you look, because of course it is. Found it.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. But yeah, Lotus, you back?
Oh, I think he'll let us know.
Okay. Figured I'd try again, just in case. But yeah, I mean, that's the only idea I got for the step up right now, unless they just pull some crazy. I don't know. Like, I feel like this was kind of the hype, but and the rest is just kind of question marks, and it's like, is that the hype one? Is this the hype one? Which one's the hype one?
Watch this give us another suit to like try to step up for, and it's like the actual FB of this anniversary.
Oh my gosh, if they do that, I'm
just
gonna be pissed.
I will say, if this is the hype week, I think they've missed the mark. So
yeah,
I can see
this hype week because that's gonna fall short. Like if that's the case, then Tenda being a Navi was
Tenda Navigator was honestly more hype than both the suits combined. Like all 3 of the suits combined to me. If we wanted to go in that direction. So I could see them doing something a little bit more. Sorry, Red and Blue Gundam fans and everyone that likes Hamma times 2.
I wonder if if they're gonna do something crazy like banner wise too, like will we get multiple suits on a banner kind of thing or something.
I kind of wonder how Western players even feel about the Double Zeta banner and stuff at this point. Like, how many of them even really know what most of that is?
Where's my Barbados?
Yeah. Where's my wing gun? Can't wait for Unicorn.
Unicorn. That would be cool. I would still love to see. Well, I'd love to see those suits in this game as well. But you know.
I mean, everybody's joking about the unicorn being like, you know, the 800 suit or whatever.
Yeah.
But
people are saying that about like most of the Char's counterattack stuff too, though. just because of the crazy shit that like New Gundam has, including a fucking funnel shield that it can put up on itself.
I think that'll be really cool.
It's like force people to have to go in on it and stuff. I mean, even beyond using funnels, though, like you have eye fields and stuff after a certain point, too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, technically, even now, when we have some eye fields on certain things.
Mm.
But, what, I guess we can go ahead and start going over this, though. What suit, if we had to pick one suit for the final week, what suit would you like to see out of Double Zeta stuff?
Mm. That's rough because I feel like the main big ones are like what's a
Zeta, Zaku Zeta.
Oh my god! You should do
which
that.
Is also a possibility for it.
You should do that as a limited mission suit.
Oh
yeah,
my
it'll
gosh,
be a raid without biosensor.
that would be the gift. It would be a raid. There we go.
Non-transforming version without biosensor.
Ah,
Yep. Because Kobe says fuck raids.
oof, big oof.
I don't know. Having a red Zeta, even if it can't like transform and stuff, easy.
I mean, it still seems pretty sick. If it's literally the same, it just didn't have biosensor. Like it kind of suck, but it'd still be pretty nice. Jeez, that this lobby's filled with Gerbera Tetras, man. Or not Gerbera Tetras, but bald guy betas. It was like I feel like there's a whole team of them on the other side, and a desert Gelgoog.
I think if I had to pick a suit that I want to see now, I mean, we've already got a support, but I definitely want to see either the mass production Cubile or the this is probably my two picks, with an honorable mention of a Mark II Cubile being the raid, because I feel like we're gonna get a raid now. Like that's the only thing that makes sense, unless they're giving out like a raid, which the Zaku head.
Watch them give out the raid just because they don't have enough confidence to put a raid out there for like 650. Like, oh boy.
I mean, that's the thing too. We just got our native 650 support, and we still don't have a native 650 native 600 support.
Yeah.
And we don't have a native 650 raid yet, and we definitely don't have a native 650 support. So it's just like, I mean, those are still. I feel like we're getting last year again. Pretty much. So. As far as like the MLRS, so I feel like we'll get a 650, in like a month or so, or two.
Well, especially because we don't know what the mystery thing is. Like this next week's going to be really up in the air. We'll see how it turns out.
It's going to be full armor double Zeta. I do feel like it's going to be a variation of Zeta, where the double Zeta.
That'd be cool.
Whether it be enhanced double Zeta, which is probably unlikely, but I do think it will likely be full armor.
So yeah, what suit do you pick, Gustav?
It's rough. Bawu might be a good one. I wouldn't mind that.
Bawu would be pretty hype.
Zisawa would be cool, but it doesn't seem like something cap the anniversary of.
Dovin Wolf is another one that could do it.
Dovin Wolf is a big one too, especially with the incom and all that stuff that it's got going on.
I think it'd be cool.
The banner suit?
For me, it's between the Bawu and the Dovin Wolf then.
For the banner suit, I had said Zaku 3.
That'd be kind of nice.
Being that being a raid.
I hope not. We don't need another general. I want to get a 650 that's not a fucking general. Like, nothing against a Cubile. That suit's fucking awesome. But like, can we get some non-generals, please?
I'm just nervous for anything that isn't a general at 650 because it just bodies everything.
Like if they make a raid, they have to make it busted out of the gate, and they hate doing that.
Yep.
Like they have a history of it at this point.
Because at this point, I can honestly see the Bao Wu being 600, 650 cost, and the O may potentially be the first 650 cost to raid.
That'd be interesting. Still
Pretty
think
neat.
coming about the Xeon time frame, but they already broke the whole repeating last year thing with this week. So I'm who knows at this point. By the way, Lotus, what's your guess on the box? What the mystery box is going to be? The gift that they give out?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to my initial statement when we jumped on the topic. I'm gonna go with a free suit, some type of free mobile suit. It may be wishful thinking, but I do think that's what's likely going to be the outcome. Because what have we gotten? Hangar progress, operator. I can't remember the first few steps, but we've gotten quite a bit in terms of gifts. Yeah, tokens. So honestly, all they really have left to give us is what? Pilot outfits and mobile suits.
Pretty much.
So I do think it's likely that we will probably see some type of free suit.
What do you think the step up's going to be?
Step up, I'm gonna go with full armor double Zeta because I'm kind of going based off of what they did last year with the GBO1. Even though the GBO1, it's land based, technically the FB is supposed to be able to be on ground. They only did so really as to not make the regular GBO1 irrelevant.
Kind of did that with the Merc 2 anyway, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah. I could see the step up being the full armor double Zeta.
That'd be kind of cool, though. I kind of don't want to see another paywall suit again after just spending all these tokens, especially if it's that.
Next week, I bet you anything.
Oh my god!
Well, from what the wiki says, the full armor double Zeta does have very high beam resistance. I think it has like a similar coat to what like the Hayaku Shiki has.
Ooh, full armor Shiki would be amazing, by the way.
Yes, please. I need that in my life. Yesterday.
Shiki Kai would probably end up being a general. Want.
Don't do that.
That's support. That's support, man.
Man.
No, the Kai is pretty much just like a boosted up version of the original. So like it's either going to be Raider General, and they probably make it. They put that in place at like a native higher cost, and then replace the Mark II with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in full armor double Zeta as my guess. I would say the Faz, but I feel isn't the mega beam cannon that the Faz has, isn't that like built into the suit? Or am I mistaken on that part?
About like the big gun that it carries around?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is, yeah. Because the full armor has the detachable armor, and the Faz is just everything in one suit.
I feel like the full armor would definitely be the go-to since it'll have the high mega cannon on its head, it'll have the waist mega cannon, the arm beam gun, I think it's 32 pod missile on its back, or it might be 64. I know it has a lot. It'll have those, so it definitely sits better in the support category than that of the Faz, to where the Faz is just purely cosmetic in terms of they made it mainly cosmetic just to test out the weight balancing and stuff. Like the beam sabers on his back aren't even real. So
that's kind of funny.
It'll be interesting if we even do see the Faz, because it'll likely be space only, and I do feel like we're at a point to where they are kind of done with space-only suits. You know, it's likely that they're not, but I kind of feel like we're at a point where most of the suits that are operable in space can be operated on land as well. Because especially in Double Zeta, a lot of the suits that they come out with are capable of atmospheric entry on their own.
Mm.
So it's probably be a stretch to say that they're done with space-only suits, but I can say it'll probably be a slim number of space-only suits going forward.
Hopefully so. The more places you can run your suits, the better for me. So
Yeah.
I'll be good with that.
Seeing the boosted stuff being on both was definitely really cool. Just saying.
Yeah. And I kind of spoiled it for Emblem when the Cubulate came out because like it can sortie on ground.
Yeah, you said I was like, oh, it's a Cubulate, okay.
But even better because Emblem was not ready to have his Cubulate just sit in his storage as a decoration, collecting dust.
Not to mention they tripled down and were like, yeah, funnels are still good here. Let's go.
Right.
Oh yeah, that was man, the funnel thing. Like the amount of like, wait, they don't work on ground
and stuff too.
Mm-hmm. I think like the biggest upside to Cubulate is that it's able to just fire around its teammates with either the lock-ons or shooting through teammates with the funnels.
Someone's got to make that meme about it. I was like, you can't fire on ground. The funnels go pew pew.
But yeah, went on a little bit of a tangent, but yeah, overall full armor Double Zeta. That's gonna be my guess for the step up.
Oh man, I don't want to see a paywalled suit. That's just my thing with that one. I'm just like, no.
Get money, Magnum.
I already spent my tokens.
Yeah. They baited you, dude. If that happens, then that's
my gosh,
check and mate.
That is the super done. I've been super baited. Get wrecked.
Yeah. I feel like at that point, I'll just have to I'll wait till that Friday or Saturday after everybody else then got the suit and see the reviews and see how it holds up. Because if I don't have to get another suit to compete at 650 cost, I'll just stick with my Hamma Hamma and we'll do what I can with it.
I still need to get the bitch first. Damn.
MLRS level 3 win.
Oh god, if that comes out, I'll just get that first.
Oh my gosh, yes, please. Let's go.
But I did see them raising a lot of the cost on other suits. Like I was disappointed that they waited an entire year to raise the Gem Custom and the Gem Cannon 2's levels, give them level 3s to put them at 500 cost, and they just now gave the Bishop a level 3 and 4, putting it at 450 and 500, and the Saikumizaku a level 3, putting it at 500. Like you guys kind of pushing the space combat a bit, but kind of could have did this a while ago because space suits were kind of lacking a bit. It kind of just came down to unit 4s and 5s, BD 2s and 3s in space. I didn't really see too many striker customs in space, rather than that one time Crossbone bullied me.
Bullet.
My brain gave out. I forgot where I was going. Magnum, take over.
Well, I mean, yeah, if we don't have any other thoughts on what could be coming in this week 5, that's about all I got.
Yeah.
So
get ready for clan matches this weekend.
Oh, hey, there we go. Clan matches. Don't forget that.
I just wonder if they're going to notify us of the gift, from the crate that they're going to give, or if that's going to be a surprise on reset as well.
It did say stay tuned for more information on it or whatever, so I'm guessing we'll find out Monday. like we usually do. Monday or Tuesday next week. It'll be just like, hey, here's what it's going to be.
At least watch them say it on the sly on Tenda's Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
That'll be a hell of a way.
That's a thing to check for.
Yeah.
That's how they'll do it. But yeah, if we want to, we can go ahead and get into some shout outs. Wrap it up. We don't have anything else.
One more thing. It kind of, with the whole Nintendo Twitter thing, it kind of makes me wonder what direction that they're going to go forward with the game. Because generally, when you put that type of commitment to making a social media page, especially with one of the characters, that generally tends to show that you're going to be sticking with something for the long run. Like in most games, it's not an often thing that occurs, but generally when it does happen, they do push that game for quite some time. So it just makes me wonder how much are they going to put into GBO2.
It may also be that she's going to be a reoccurring character. Like I would assume that we're going to get probably a PS5 client for this game, and then eventually when we move on, she'll probably be in that too. Because they're actually like establishing characters. I don't know how the base camp was like, or that was like in general. The first game, but I can see these guys.
I don't think there was a base camp, if I remember right.
Yeah, I don't think there was. From the videos that I saw, there wasn't.
But yeah, these are just their OCs. I could see them continuing on then.
That'd be interesting. I would definitely like to see them for GBO3 redo their framework in terms of what they base generals, raids, and supports off of going forward. Because the system, it may have worked at first, but now it's just kind of going downhill with how powerful suits are getting. Like the triangle at first was a good idea, but now it's not really working out too high.
We're also just getting into like versus level of like ability and things that some of the higher suits can. And like this game already struggles on PS4.
That's fair.
So like it kind of makes you wonder if they're actually gonna refine the engine or just make a whole new one.
Yeah, that is.
Personally, I like to see them make a new one, because sometimes it's just better to start from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you have more control over what you want to do for it, because that's kind of what Destiny did moving forward with Destiny 2. Because before they moved forward to Destiny 2, they upgraded Destiny 1 by introducing the sandbox mechanic, adding damage fall off and a bunch of other things, quality of life to the game. But they can only do so much. And I feel like they'd run into those limitations with GBO2 as well. And I think it would be better with the newer consoles to be able to take full advantage of the power that those systems have.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to see a new engine.
I'd never say no to a new one, for sure.
As long as they do it right.
I can't wait to start over.
I mean, that's inevitable, though, right? Like, they're not gonna let you carry shit over.
Another 2 years for accumulate.
And that's another thing too. Hopefully we get dedicated servers.
Oh my gosh!
Just saying.
That's gonna be the make or break for the new one, especially if they actually keep pushing past Japan for that release too.
I think GBO2 was a success in a sense. They kind of tested with the Western release, seeing how well it was perceived, and I think it was fairly well received, even though the majority of their player base is still overseas on the eastern side of things. I think the game did do fairly well on this side.
We have to just keep in mind that it's an international too, right?
Yeah.
So in other places, watch South America keep this game alive, even when we give up again.
And I need to stop being cheap.
Yeah, I think they're definitely making their money off of it. That they could probably have.
The cool thing, at least in terms of like Twitch presence, it seems like we're still getting new streamers, and not just new streamers that actually have bigger followerships that are checking out this game now. Like, there's still new people discovering this game every week from what we see. here, and that's really cool. It's also a little bit telling of how poorly this game has been advertised, but the fact that they're still coming in is good.
It's more of a Bandai being a poor publisher type of thing more than anything.
Yeah. They got that English Twitter for GBO2 and they're like, oh, wash your hands of this shit.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how they handle things going forward. Will it make it to a year 3? Probably not. Don't know. It's hard to tell at this point as to what they'll even introduce for a year 3 anniversary.
Yeah. We'd be at like next level, like battle operation next level of suits coming out.
Right. Having Dodai's spot going out into the battlefield.
Honestly, Dodai's should be a thing anyway, right? Because they had, even before Zeta, they had skimmers or things that they could actually ride on. I remember even seeing them in Side Story and stuff like that. Especially when you talk about having transformable suits around too, you need to just have those in place of like tanks, or even just like as an extra side thing at bases. It would totally turn into a battlefield thing of like people smacking each other to get on them.
That's probably avoided it so far.
I will say
it.
I will say it would kind of be cool to see a GBO next 2 that isn't what the first one was.
Yeah.
Janky Gundam versus.
Yeah, just literally a better concept of that. Janky Gundam versus might actually work out though, just for the people who don't like actual. It just has to be a better system than what they had for the original. Which honestly, considering how people make fun of it, it probably wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
I feel like they already got the basis of it in this game.
Yeah, just use this game engine essentially and make that.
Take out the damn triangle. Just go.
At that point, yeah, it's not going to matter. Just don't have it in there.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, they can definitely do more. I don't know how big BB Studios is in terms of their development team, but I would still like to see more in terms of quality of life content for GBO2. I do think more game modes would be nice. Say objective-based game modes. I don't know how they implement that. That's something to figure out. But
before they do that, I want them over. God damn. Or if they're gonna do objective-based stuff, let it be stuff you can do in your suit.
Yeah. They definitely have the funds. I put a healthy chunk into this game too, where I did have to cut back and start managing my money better.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, they also have Gundam Online over there.
Mm-hmm. They're still releasing content.
Still kicking.
Age is in the game now.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Oh yeah.
I also saw like something for like an 08th banner or some shit, some picture that they had on there.
They're putting
trying to appeal to those old schools.
But yeah. But yeah, we could probably go ahead and, unless you guys have anything else, we could go ahead and hop into some shoutouts and wrap it up.
Sounds good to me.
Cool. Okay, so Lotus, if you want to go, let everybody know what you got going on, what you got coming up.
You all know me as Lotus. More commonly on YouTube, my full thing is RippingLotus. Generally, that's my tag on the Xbox and PS4. I'm going to be dipping into streaming a little bit later once I get everything set up, but right now I am focusing primarily on my YouTube content, trying to delve into that full time. So if you're interested in the content that I make, feel free to hop over and take a look at some videos. I'm very welcome to constructive criticism, as I'm always looking for better ways to improve my content for your viewing pleasure. As I said at the beginning of the stream, I upload GBO2 gameplay, Rogue Company, Shinobi Strikers, and on my watch list, I'm looking at the Marvel Avengers game coming up. I'm definitely going to be buying this Samurai Jack game coming up soon, and I'm going to be uploading a playthrough of that, and just generally whatever else really catches my eye. And that's pretty much it for me.
Cool. Gustav, next?
Yeah. Gustav_13 XIII on most social media as well as Twitch and YouTube. Going into G Generation Crossrays is our new secondary game since we wrapped up Yakuza Kiwami 2. Also going to be trying to do clan matches tomorrow in GBO2 or on the weekend. We're probably going to try to do practice tomorrow if we can manage it. But we do have a secondary clan, GKN, capital G _K, capital N, if you are still looking for a clan to hang out in. And we will be around Twitch doing our dailies for GBO2 every day, regardless of secondaries. So keep an eye out for us.
Cool. GamingEmblem?
Space is hard. Yeah, I am GamingEmblem. I also stream on twitch.tv, also known as the internet. And you can find me at twitch.tv/GamingEmblem. Gaming hard and gaming fast. But yeah, we'll be keeping an eye out for some of the games I mentioned earlier in the podcast. The remake of Fate Extra. That one's going to be pretty awesome. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. That one should be pretty hot. And more PSO2, of course. Then we have a clan. T3P. we try to do clan matches whenever one can get in there.
But yeah, as usual, everybody's information will be down in the description below. But yeah, I'm EG Magnum. I stream on Twitch, got a Twitter, Discord, stuff like that. Gonna be doing some Path of Exile, maybe trying to finish the challenges. If it looks like it's gonna be too much, then I'll just deal without having the portal this time. I kind of wanted another portal that I could use. Other than that, going to try to get a little bit of Hades in. Going to be doing the beta for the Avengers game tomorrow night. Don't know how long. Depends on when it actually comes out, because right now it just says 9 p.m. And if that's Eastern, then awesome. Then I'll be playing it for a little while. If it's Pacific, then, well, that's midnight. And I'll probably play a little bit, go to bed, because we got clan matches coming this weekend. And, yeah. I kind of want to try to be awake for that. But speaking of which, capital M, lowercase n, capital G, we got a few spots open. And yeah, hopefully we do pretty well. It's 600, so I'm going to be in there with the MLRS. And
this is going to be the first top 100 slot match too.
Oh yeah, that's right. We haven't we didn't even get a chance last time, I don't think, for the 100 slot from what we were counting. So
yeah, everything got borked with everything that's going on.
But yeah, the other than that though, we're gonna be trying to get into some Phantasy Star, maybe check out Monster Hunter World again at some point. The new and then Crystal Chronicles, too many games again, pretty much.
Too many games.
And then the new league is starting early next month for Path, so that'll be fun. Tabletops every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, Gundam themed, using the Robotech SMG rule set. And also next week here on the podcast, same time as always, 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. We're gonna have another guest, and it's going to be Red Wolf Vion. So yeah, that'd be cool.
I got drafted.
But But anyway, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Leave us a comment down below of what you thought about what we talked about and what you'd like to hear us talk about in the future. But anyway, that'll be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.